mrekk is the greatest Osu player of all time, and there's no debate.
Oh, yes!
Recently, he signed up to Laser Grand Arena, an official 1v1 tournament that many other top players signed up to, including me.
I'm not gonna lie, Xylus, number 23, I think a lot of people probably would have expected him to go a lot higher than that, especially with that hidden pool, as you said, number 5 overall. I don't really know what happened in the DT. I feel like that was kind of a troll. He did this all in one try. He only had one other play outside of the 12 submitted. It is still nonetheless kind of surprising not to see him higher on the list.
I had a pretty good start to the tournament, decisively winning my first 2 matches.
Again, maybe an unfortunate matchup here in the match going up against Xylus.
35k scoring the lead, and Xylus winning all 3 sets.
But that's when I realized who my next opponent was.
I gotta play against mrekk next!
Oh my god. Yo, this kid's going down. This kid's going down. This kid's going down. The formats for this tournament is very unique. Player 1 picks a map, then player 2 picks a map, and the player with the higher combined score across both maps win a point. First to 3 points wins the match. As some of you may know, mrekk does have a weakness, which happens to be practicing for tournaments.
We're gonna find out if he is ready. It doesn't seem he is, unfortunately.
There were 3 gimmick maps in the pool, and that's what I needed for any kind of hope of winning. So I poured my time into practicing the weird maps, but I also was prepared for any mechanics that mrekk would end up picking. When it was time for the match, mrekk banned DT2, which was a miracle. I was then allowed to protect one of the weird maps I practiced, which was Hidden 2. Then for mrekk's last ban, he banned Hidden 1? An A map? Against me? He bans Hidden 1? I'm surprised. But then again, what else do we ban? Okay, maybe this match is more winnable than I thought. I had all 3 gimmick maps in my arsenal. Here came set 1. mrekk started the match with Nomad 4, which I somehow won.
I'm so surprised I won that.
Maybe I didn't have to use any of my gimmick picks to win the set. So I threw away a very RNG pick in the first set, Nomad 2. A stream map that I didn't think I could lose by much on, and that went perfectly.
You know, we talked at the beginning of this map about, oh, maybe you pick a map that you kind of lose, but not by that much, right? Well, this ended up being that kind of pick, right? He loses, but it's only by 50k, so it doesn't actually impact the set at all. He's still going to end up winning, assuming he doesn't full 100 this last stream. He does not. Still going to end up winning the set by cumulative score, about an 85,000 point difference in Xylus's favor, and is up 1-0 to start off the match against mrekk, which is about as good of a start as you could ask for, honestly.
I won mrekk's Nomad 4 pick harder than he won my Nomad 2 pick, so I took the first point. Only 2 more to go. I had the first pick in the next set, and I wanted to build my momentum on this lead, so I picked the best map in my arsenal against a player like mrekk, and I picked the dense hidden map that I definitely practiced more than he did. Turns out he did practice the map a touch, and I didn't win by as much as I thought I would. So he countered by using his own best pick that he protected, and he gapped the ever-living shit out of me, not gonna lie, and the match was tied up 1-1.
Fuck, that was close as hell. Got a crazy combo.
mrekk started the third set off with Nomad 1. Yeah, I had to play aim against the most consistent aim player in the game. You can probably guess what happened.
Yeah, and this is shaping up to be a pretty solid score, Azer. He's still going on this reverse choke. It's not going to be an FC, but he can make it pretty damn close if he holds on to combo into the ending here. This map is already completely won. I don't think there's anything Xylus can do at this point aside from just pray for a miss and keep as much combo as possible to keep the score lead from ballooning any further. But that is 30 combo off of an FC reverse choke for mrekk.
He beat me so badly that I didn't think winning this point was even possible. So I threw my own pick with another mrekk map, DT1.
Okay, now I want to throw away DT1 because I feel like that's less winnable than... Okay, that was a good throwaway pick, I think.
I knew I'd lose this map, so I chose it for an already lost point, and now I was down 2-1. One more point for mrekk, and I lose. I had to give it my all for the rest of the match. So for the last set, it was time to use mrekk's lack of practice against him. I picked Nomad 3, which was unusually weird for a Nomad 3, and he had no clue what he had coming.
And as we've gone through that exposition, there's an 80,000 score lead for Xylus because he has 96 accuracy and mrekk has 83% accuracy, and this is showcasing how much accuracy matters.
I had the biggest score lead in my favor. So now it was time for me to tie things up. Right after, he picked Hidden 3, and I also happened to win that.
130,000 score lead for Xylus on this is made, like, it's going up to 140,000 almost by the end of the map.
Crazy.
So this point wasn't even close. I tied things up 2-2. For the final point, there were only 3 maps left to play, and whoever had the highest total score across all 3 songs wins the match. By miracle, I won the precision map. And then up next was the laser mod. Remember how I said mrekk's weakness was practicing for tournaments? Well, I pulled up to show everyone that hard work really can beat talent.
Xylus is looking pretty damn good on this. I gotta say, I gotta say, this is way better so far than I think you'd expect from someone who was just saying he didn't really play them.
The damage is already kind of done here. 117,000 score lead for Xylus halfway. It seems like it might just not have even mattered because Xylus is popping off in all the right places on all the right maps. So what if your opponent gets number 2 on Gendarme? You have the advantage on score on now 2 out of 3 of the maps in the tiebreaker set. The only map left is the original, and mrekk is going to have his work cut out for him going into that one. Still, unfortunately, not able to find any substantial combo, not able to bring the accuracy back up, and Xylus is still near 99 accuracy, has this almost 300 combo, has this 150,000 score lead going into the end of the depth pick, and that is on top of the 70k from the last map. The score lead that mrekk has to overcome in the original pick near the end here is going to be above 200,000 probably, unless we see a kind of collapse here from Xylus near the end and a real pop-off from mrekk to bring that score lead down below 130k, but no, not to be. That is a 224,000 cumulative score lead for Xylus.
Wow.
One more map left for this point, and I had a 200,000 point lead. All there was left for me to do was to follow through.
GG.
I don't think a lot of people would expect this result. In fact, I'm curious who's in chat right now. Who's got the correct prediction? Great opportunity to show that off right now because it's looking more and more unlikely that mrekk has even a chance to come back at this, let alone even get a point on this map alone. But It's okay. It's exploding 100k in favor of Xylus right now.
Yeah, mrekk found the miss, and I think saw Xylus's combo still intact, and I think maybe gave up a little bit there near the end. Hard to blame him when you can't just win this map. You have to win convincingly in dominant fashion, and that is just not going to happen here. This is not the outcome I think almost anyone expected. You look at the chat prediction for this match, 98% in favor of mrekk in terms of the channel points wagered, 2% in favor of Xylus, 50 to 18 just in terms of the people. And I think if we had a pick'ems going for LGA, or maybe there is one, I think that one would probably also be massively in favor of mrekk in this match. And it is just a huge upset for Xylus. Seed 23 out of qualifiers, makes it into the top 8, and in his first match in quarterfinals, knocks mrekk to the losers bracket. One of the expected podium top 3 finishers, and potentially one of the people expected to win the whole thing, down in the losers bracket after quarterfinals.
I had won 5 maps in a row and done the impossible. Just like that, I defeated the greatest Osu player of all time. Thank you for watching.